one's allowed to have negative opinions of Dan Bilzerian, that would
The wording I
damage
would use
everything.
would be a lot worse.
But
anyhow.
didn't he make all his money in poker?
Yeah, he
Didn't
did.
he make all his money in poker?
He
What,
did.
did he make
And he has all these women who hang out with him naked for no money. It's amazing.
Yeah, he's a, it's just Dan Bilzerian doing Dan things. Okay, did we start already?
All right, we're live. Hello, everybody. Let me make sure that it actually is live.
Yeah, we had a little bit of
my
technical difficulty on Tuesday, so hopefully it's a little smoother today.
I think I figured it out.
Quick chat.
Interesting here that Brian chose two spades. In this case, partner is an unpassed hand, and while you are pure with good spades, you have length in hearts, and the playing strength of your hand is such that you don't really need partner to have spades for good things.
Yeah, also a little bit interesting that Ish didn't reopen with a double with a stiff spade. I think that's a reasonable option.
Yeah,
trap passing, but they might not be trap passing too much.
Yeah, I think red versus white. I would suspect red versus white, the frequency of East trapping kind of goes down a little, because a lot of these in between hands, he might just jump to 3-0. And with this aceless kind of no four heart hand, I mean, you could double, but you'd have to really have a read that like, your righty is broke, for example.
Yeah, the imps risk of getting him into game, very real.
Maybe also it's North's preempt style. I don't know much about it, but maybe it's known to, because two spades is certainly not
heavy
that many juniors would make with ace king and sixth. So if he knows that North is likely to have a strong preempt, then maybe it's even less likely that partner has a trap pass.
Yeah.
I do want to, let me.
I can assure you that if South was a passed hand, he would have reopened with a double here.
Yes.
But South being an unpassed hand kind of changes the calculus.
To make sure.
So I think in two, Brian's just gonna hope to avoid any shenanigans. Unfortunately, Finn's gonna win and play another heart. And now it's hard to get to your hand to pull the last trump.
You can ruff a club.
Yeah, but then the dummy's dead and you're giving up on losing 3 diamonds, which is what's going to happen anyway, because he'll still have 8 tricks. But it feels kind of bad. And in fact, Finn is relatively sure at this point that his partner has the king of diamonds. So, as I say, he might have just done this and gotten it over with.
So this one should wrap up pretty quickly.
Well, now they can still just play a diamond.
Yeah, he'll just rough it back.
It's not gonna matter too much. I suppose without knowing, the 7 could be from Queen 10-7, although that seems very unlikely.
And here, no matter what he does, he's just going to lose 1 heart and 2 diamonds.
Well, Ish has to play a diamond. I mean, if he was careless and tried to cash the club,
which would be a little bit
not good. He will
North
not
having already roughed a club.
Yeah, that's true.
Fairly careless.
Would be fairly careless.
Yep, 8 tricks.
All right, so he just takes his 8 tricks, and at first glance, 4 hearts is not the worst contract ever. In fact, 4 hearts will probably be fine. Oh no, he
Yeah,
can
there
run
might
the
be a
king of
couple issues with
spades.
the singleton spade. You have to figure out how you want to play the hearts. If you,
Yeah, he can
Single
rough.
Single dummy, you
was-
want to be in it for sure.
yeah, single dummy, you definitely want to be in it.
So anyway, two spades buys it. So a small plus for Bramley's team.
This one looks like a heart part score for East West. Although, yeah,
Well,
three-
he's gonna
he's
he's gonna bid three hearts,
and
and
this was certainly past that. It looks like it would probably end up going off too. North is a passed hand, and I guess this is a hand I also would have opened. So I think a lot of people would open it, but a lot would also pass. But now having passed, they can very comfortably make a takeout double.
Yeah.
And now that he redoubled, he might be able to settle in two hearts because he already will have shown the strength of his hand and not have to jump to three hearts to show such a strong hand with six hearts.
Kevin will have kind of an interesting decision at that stage, whether he chooses to try to compete to something like two spades. If you imagine your partner here is very often, I mean, it has to be short in hearts, but it'll very often be a singleton because partner's a passed hand already. And that might entice him to want to compete beyond two hearts.
I think with 4x3 and especially three little hearts, they don't have a 9-card fit. It'd be very unlikely. So I don't think he can beat double showing values.
Yeah, so he is competing beyond two hearts. I mean, the hand is so prime with king.
North
queen,
might
10, fourth.
actually consider
What's that?
passing with a pretty defensive hand. And it might go down. Two hearts might go down, but it's a little bit scary to defend two hearts doubled where it's going to be close between making or going down.
Yeah, definitely.
Better be
We
worth
can,
it, so come on, pass.
well, we can see that with proper defense, they will beat two hearts. I didn't click a double dummy button or anything, but I assume after a trump lead, the dummy just has the one entry to lead spades. So
After a trump lead, I would assume Finn would be most likely to run the 9 of spades with his one opportunity.
That's
But
what I'm thinking.
if he didn't, there might be a chance of creating some problems for the defense.
yeah, I mean, he might win. He might win the. Yeah, no, it'll be interesting to see. As you
With
pointed
the
out,
North
Brian.
hand,
Brian suddenly has kind of a tough problem because while these low-level doubles tend to be takeout oriented and kind of cooperative, what would South do with like a hand that wants to penalize two hearts?
yeah, this is one where I don't. With Kevin's hand, are there very many passed hand partners that can have a hand where you're definitely beating two hearts? I
No,
don't know.
Not at all. And
So that's why I don't know
so-
if double is my favorite bid.
I think a double is a bid you would make if you were very sure that it was cooperative and not pure penalty.
But when you're making a cooperative double, don't you want to have some chance of
Well,
defeating it pretty going for down two instead of just going for down one? Or
oh yeah, and it's creating a problem for North because there's nothing stopping Kevin from having queen 10 fourth of hearts and a very similar hand where North needs to pass to collect their 300 or 500 or whatever it is, with Declare having to play this whole hand out of his hand. So
the other consideration for North might be that if Kevin had strong hearts and a good cooperative hand, he might have passed 1-no trump redoubled, intending it for penalties.
absolutely.
So it's a bit, yeah, he passes it. It's a bit
It
tricky.
does eventually pass, but I actually think that last point you made is very key, that a pass here of the redouble would tend to show a hand that has kind of a heart trap, because you're not worried about where their tricks are coming from in one no. And if you had a suit, you would just bid it. Especially with a past hand partner doubling, you don't really want to leave it up to them to decide. It's more useful to pass this redouble to show a hand that wants to play one no redoubled. So he does lead a high club. Now I wonder if he'll switch to a trump now.
Yeah, my thinking, there was a lot of talk yesterday in double contracts at these low levels where you almost always just want to lead trumps. But here you might not necessarily want to, knowing that West is likely to be short in trumps. And if you think you made a cooperative double and partner passed it, maybe you think he has something in hearts, although it seems unlikely, but maybe you're not so worried about them roughing anything. Although the king of clubs could theoretically give up a club trick.
So Brian will probably win the king of diamonds here and not the ace. Oftentimes in these situations, you'll false card, except that the dummy just doesn't really have entries. And you kind of want to give partner the heads up in case they need to exit their hand later. So I suspect Brian's going to play a trump here.
Yeah, the only possible issue would be a spade switch, which would give away the contract, it seems.
Well, but with Brian holding ace 10 third of diamonds and the dummy having only one entry, he's not going to do that because there's no threat that the diamonds are going to set up.
Right,
So
you just want to exit passively.
I don't think there's any urgency here. He probably suspects his partner only has 3 hearts at this point. And so that's going to lean him towards being passive, I think. In fact, Brian's probably got the whole hand counted out at this point. His partner, they play standard carding, if I recall. So his partner has 3 diamonds, bid 2 clubs, and didn't bid 2 spades or 3 clubs over 2 hearts, but still wanted to compete. So this is a little strange to me that he played a club.
Well, maybe he's just wants to make sure the club trick gets cashed and have partner exit a trump or a diamond.
Yeah, I would want to make sure I shot a heart through in case partner is I mean, I don't see. Yeah, I mean, if he has king third, he can still exit a heart. The issue is,
sorry,
go ahead.
I was gonna say Kevin could have a real problem here where if he thinks declare, say, has queen jack 10 of spades and the partner has the jack of hearts, he might need to cash spades and lead the club at some point and promote his 10 of hearts. But I guess that's not really realistic because partner would have a 12-point hand with the ace, king of diamonds, the king of spades. They can't really have the jack of clubs and the jack of hearts. So I figured just to switch to a heart. But in some cases, you might look for a trump promotion with 10 third of hearts.
Figure Finn will run the 9 of spades here.
He will for sure. And this will go down 1.
So this is a good result for North-South, who avoided disaster. They probably would have gotten plus anyways, but
yeah, with the hand being so friendly, even if Kevin or they competed to 2 spades, let's say.
Yeah, this is not a hand I would want to defend 2 hearts doubled with the North-South cards.
No, and in fact, the clubs were 3-3. And no 10 of spades in the dummy. I mean, and North had
the diamonds were 5-1 in their defense, but
yeah. Anyway, they played 2 hearts undoubled in the other room, so a 2 imp pickup. And the match gets closer. We're down to 13. Have we got any?
Did West pass over 1 heart there? It's interesting to stop in 2.
No, he bid 1 no trump, and that's it's a good lesson if we can pull it back up just for a second, Harrison.
Yeah, let me see if I can. Oops.
So the thing is, when it goes pass a heart pass, especially not vol, you're rarely going to see players at this level pass. I mean, there have been several hands this week where with 4 triple 3 2 counts, I've seen people take calls after partners minor suit opening. You were there for a second.
Yeah, I was just going back, but
Okay. But anyhow, the idea here is that you don't want to advertise that you're broke, and you have to weigh what the worst that could happen when you respond light is. And so very often people will just respond even on nothing, just to try to keep the other side out of contract they might belong in. So
Anyone know what flavor Jacoby Tuno they're playing here?
yeah, so Tuno is invitational or better with 4 more spades and 3 diamonds. Most people play in response to the 3 clubs is some minimum, so you can sign off in 3 spades if West has the limit raise. But here, in bid 3 diamonds showing unspecified shortness somewhere, and then 4 spades, I assume, just confirms limit raise. Doesn't really care.
yeah, Kevin's got a kind of a toughish lead problem, I think. He'll probably lead a diamond.
Yeah, I could also see him leading a trump.
He might, although I like that a lot less. You know, there's nothing inferential that's going to have declare drop queen third. I would be a little worried about that. I think he's probably going to lead a diamond, but
I think if you think,
and he chose a heart, which I thought was his other choice.
yeah, heart I guess is reasonable too. I think if you think that East is short in hearts, a heart lead is probably not going to cost a trick. Although here it does because East has the void in hearts, but a heart lead also is. Now that I think about it, I probably would have let a heart.
Yeah, I thought it was.
I don't think a diamond lead. I don't think I would lead a diamond just from Jack empty 4th, especially if East has heart shortness. It's likely they have diamond length where a diamond lead could cost.
But similarly, if they have, I mean, I get you have 5 hearts and 4 diamonds, so in a vacuum, the heart shortness is more likely. I would just think that I don't like to lead from a king in a situation like this. No rule is absolute, but my opponents had advertised some stuff, and if we have any chance, fast heart tricks when I have 5 of them seems, I mean, I guess maybe you can root for ace and 1 in hearts or something close, but
Or maybe just if partner has the queen of hearts, building a heart trick before they can pitch it somewhere.
yeah, that's true too.
Yeah.
Anyway, we get a very kind of quiet
Yeah, just one
450
over
here.
trick. We'll probably pick up an imp or maybe push it, but should make 5. Just losing 1 more club trick here.
Yeah, and if the defense doesn't start a heart, they're just always going to get 4 tricks because
Something
3 tricks.
slight.
or 3 tricks, I mean, because there's nowhere really to park the second club loser except on this finesse that showed up.
Because North knows that South has all the hearts, when South discards the 6 of hearts, the lowest heart,
It should be a suit
it
preference
should be a
signal.
suit preference for clubs indicating a club card. So North should know that, yeah.
Yeah,
North should know
and
that
he
South
does.
has.
He does, just in case the declarer was down to king X of clubs somehow, like if they were 5-0-4-4, you can at least put a guess to him. So
Yep.
I like what Brian did here. Have we got any action in the chat? Or
Not much.
not much? Okay. All right, so a gentle push with the other room.
Yep.
And let's see here.
Looks like maybe 3 no trump for East West.
So this is the kind of hand, and this depends on style. So North-South may be in a style where this is not possible. But as someone who is a Flannery proponent myself, I give up on 2 diamond openers weak. But if I like to open 2 diamonds a lot, South has the kind of hand first seat favorable that I would be very tempted to open 2 diamonds with. favorable and 2-2 in the majors, you just want to make life difficult when you have that option.
Yeah, favorable. I think two diamonds would be a good bid if possible, or a reasonable bid if possible. Might not be the style of.
Yeah, I know Kevin for sure tends to be a little heavier, and I wouldn't be surprised if Brian is also, although Brian hasn't played a ton of high-level competitive bridge in the last 4 or 5 years or so. He played primarily with John Diamond for a long time when John was traveling and having teams, but
Something on I guess so. Yeah, double here is support double, showing 3 hearts. And so
Chris, it sounds like
it'll
your
probably
audio.
just be-
say that again.
I hear like an echo. Is that just me?
It was just you that time. There have been some in the past. If there are echo issues, though, please do bring them to our attention.
Okay, so Finn bids 2 no trump inviting, and Ish will most likely just bid 3 no trump with
For
full
sure.
maximum. And because East West probably open a lot of 11 counts, it makes sense just to invite with the East hand. Yeah,
Yes.
someone said no echo issues, so sound is good.
Okay.
So thanks in the chat for letting us know.
Yeah, so a diamond lead will come, having suppressed this. I guess he did end up overcalling 2 diamonds. So it was certainly a style thing, or they played 2 diamonds as not a weak 2 bid.
Anyone else a little surprised you didn't go up Jack here?
Well, you don't want to do that because
If North is like King 10, King 9 doubleton, it could cost maybe. I'm not sure.
But how is the guy going to overcall with that? I don't know.
Ace 10. Well, they're favorable, and I think it's. But when does the Jack? The question is, when does the Jack gain? And
the Jack gains if he's underled the holding he has, and he has like the Ace of clubs, or like everything. But he can't really have everything, right? He can't have the Ace King of diamonds and the Ace Queen of clubs. So
If he just has 6 diamonds, like this protects against a single from 10 or 9.
Yeah, I guess if he had 6 diamonds, but it's.
well, but now the likelihood that he passed with Ace King 6 the diamonds and no hand is virtually 0.
And the 10 of diamonds is an interesting, maybe false card by North, because you would normally see the 9 from 10-9 doubleton, but it might actually cause Declare to duck the 10 of diamonds, fearing that maybe South does have the Ace King 9 fifth and no entry.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a very nice play by Brian, and he does in fact duck exactly for the reasons you mentioned.
Yeah.
And someone mentioned
South
James
can't really
is a
have an
little
entry
quiet.
here. Oh, okay. South really can't have an. I mean, he has the Ace King. He can't have it.
Right, South can't have the Ace of clubs with the Ace King of diamonds. Is there anything you can do to maybe get your audio a little louder?
It's so familiar.
A little bit on the technical difficulties front. All right, so now when this holds, Brian's issue is that
He sees 4 tricks.
he's got to come up with a way to
Sorry.
yeah, that worked. He's got to come up with a way to
So my volume is set to max. I can talk louder, I guess.
Yeah, let me see if there's anything.
let's see. Is there anything for Brian to play for here?
Well, I think if South, it's possible that South has the King of Hearts instead of the Queen of Clubs, where a heart shift might be necessary before Declare can get 3 clubs, the Ace of Hearts, 4 spades, and 1 diamond. Maybe I'm not sure. That probably is
But
possible.
I guess a diamond, a heart, a club.
So yeah, because he sees 4 tricks, so all he's looking is for a 5th trick somewhere, and you probably if it's the King of Hearts, there's a chance you need to build that King of Hearts trick right away. If Declare, say, has Queen 5th of clubs, or actually maybe no, Brian can't actually tell that they have 4 tricks. Sorry, because he doesn't know what East diamond holding is. So Brian doesn't know that Kevin actually does have the ace king of diamonds. But maybe he figured it
He
out.
does play a heart to hope that partner has the king of hearts. And I think you're kind of on the right track with, you know, maybe Kevin's got ace queen of diamonds and the king of hearts. Ace queen 9 fifth of diamonds and the king of hearts. And this is something to play for. So
Yeah, I guess he
it's
doesn't
actually
know that is ace queen or ace king, because if he had king queen of diamonds, Finn would have certainly played the jacket trick one.
correct, missing the 10 and 9. So this is a really important lesson for those of you following, especially in an imp game. What Brian was doing when he was thinking is, what could possibly be happening where this has a chance? A lot of times we reflexively, you know, the 10 of diamonds holds and we think, oh my God, my 10 of diamonds held. Let's return partner's suit. He's got all these diamonds. But East bid to no. East has to have a diamond stopper. And partner didn't open the bidding. So the way you construct partner's values, you have to come up with something that will beat the contract, especially at this form of scoring. Now, at pairs, you might just want to take tricks and not risk not getting them. Although for the reasons Harrison mentioned, South really can't have king queen of diamonds because the declarer would have gone up jack. So even if
it's good to think of it as like a race. You're trying to get 5 before they get 9. You gotta, you know, figure out how to win that race.
yeah,
And your
Cashing
audio
it 4 early doesn't really help. Okay, good.
all right. So he does end up. Finn ends up playing a diamond, and
And so here Kevin's probably just trying to figure out if
there's any
he wants
chance.
to cash the diamond and set up Declare's trick, because setting up the trick for Declare might be Declare's 9th trick as well.
So if you look at the hand from Kevin's perspective, I mean, your partner can't really have either of the kings that are missing, right?
Right. Once he shows up with the ace
Those-
of clubs, the
But
right
you realize
ace
there's no chance at
ball.
all. Then the over tricks do matter. That imp could come in handy.
Yeah, and in fact, they did make 4 at the other table, played from the other side. I wonder if they got a spade lead and now they just floated the 9 of clubs or something like that. And now you just stumbled into 10 tricks because they can get 2 diamonds and the ace of clubs. So I suspect that's what happened at the other table. Or I suppose with the spots as they are and the ace of clubs over there, even on the 10 of diamonds lead, you'll still make 4 from the other side. So, you know, so I guess north south are 15 to 17 in their no trump. As if I was playing 14 to 16, I don't think I would think too hard before opening a no trump. So
Yeah, and I don't think East has the type of hand where you would want to bid 2 spades with 2 aces, and a queen of clubs isn't really great for a preemptive hand. You don't have very much offense at all. It's much more of a defensive hand. So I think 1 spade is much better than a preempt.
yeah, and this is probably a mixed preempty kind of hand. When you're vol here,
Yeah, 3 clubs is mixed.
yeah, when you're vol here, your 3 club, you know, quote unquote preempt that you want to make can be kind of on the heavier side. And Finn's going to have an interesting problem here.
Yeah, 4 spades isn't a great contract, but
No, and he chooses
Certainly
to
not.
pass. The 6 spade and ace and 1 diamond are pretty
Pretty
good, but
I mean, it's
not
not the
Queen
worst.
Doubleton, their suit.
Queen Doubleton of clubs is real bad, and Jack third of hearts is bad, opposite a past hand partner. So I think what he did was very sensible. Yeah, and here East can safely duck this 10 of hearts because North opened a club and didn't compete over 3 spades. So there's no way that they're 6-5 in clubs and hearts or anything. There's no threat. This 10 is a singleton.
Yeah, now there's actually a problem maybe where East can set up the heart and discard the diamond. So with the 10 of hearts lead. So he might actually end up making 4 on this hand. Using
Yeah,
2 hearts and a club.
If you don't attack the hearts, you don't get the king of hearts. So it's kind of
Well,
funny.
and in fact, I think the solver is going to tell us that it's cold anyway.
Right, I was gonna say it's not the worst 4-spade contract.
Well,
Double
the
dummy, single
key
dummy
here,
it might be.
the reason that it's better is that the diamonds are frozen.
Right. Nobody
So
can attack diamond
yeah,
successfully.
no one can attack diamonds successfully, so there is time to set up the heart discard. And
You also
luckily,
need spades too, because if
yeah,
the spades aren't
spades too, I was just about to say, is the other thing that's making game good. But I wouldn't be surprised to see them in game at the other table. A 6 spade, an ace, and a diamond really are kind of good holdings. And your partner, if the auction is similar, which it probably will be at the other table, kind of screams like good constructive / bad limit raise. So
I guess you cover the king here just in case your partner has 10/3 of trumps.
yeah, North also doesn't know that the declare has a 6 spade.
You
And
don't
now,
always cover with king doubleton though. When
Right, but you gotta see this problem ahead of time, because obviously if you take your time to duck, you're just helping them out. This is interesting that he's not playing to set up the heart. Oh, well, let's see. If the trumps are 3-1, yeah, you could get into a problem that way, maybe.
yeah, so here he's not actually even gonna make
He's not playing to make 4, right? So that's why.
yeah. Although
I
I'm not sure.
wonder what this game though, because surely you can play a 2nd spade, and now even if they are 3-1,
Right, he lost the tricks he was gonna lose anyway, so I think it might have been better to play. But it's just
He
an
could've-
overtrick. You
well, what I'm saying,
So if lefty has the king of diamonds, then they can't get to partner's king of hearts. I think that's the gain.
yeah, that's
Right.
true.
No,
that's so
you know,
kind of
is
unlikely.
this-
Sal's
It's
already,
likely on the bidding, yeah, debatable. Would Brian open that hand with the jack of
you already
diamonds?
seen Brian
Probably.
pass 11 counts.
Well,
That'd
here's
be 12, right? If you have the jack of diamonds.
Yeah, that would be 12 with jack of diamonds, yeah.
well, but here's the thing. If you play a spade over and they are 3-1, let's say the other hand has 3, you can now still do the same ace of diamonds diamond thing and hope the king is there, because they can't hurt you.
True, but if the hand with the king of diamonds has 3 spades, then
Right, you might also
lose
have,
your rough.
if the diamonds
but-
are 4-2.
But now you get to pitch your club and maybe even your heart, depending on it's the same 9,
Yeah.
is what I'm saying. So
And
anyhow,
I feel like there was a distribution where you could yes owned on that.
But the other thing is, in a long, possibly 8-day tournament, you really don't need to waste that much energy on the over tricks. It is definitely probably worth it to save some energy for
That is a good
tougher
point.
courts.
I came straight from the Jeopardy taping to New Orleans National, and it was not the best for my brain power, let us say.
Yeah,
of course. Well, it's still a little early, and Finn is, among the younger participants. In fact, he's the youngest participant, if I'm not mistaken. So
yeah, but it's still always, you still are always going to be more tired at the end of the tournament than when it starts, obviously. So
something interesting is happening here, which is that I wouldn't be totally shocked to see North bid. Okay, he did decide to pass, but I think this is kind of close at these colors and in this situation to maybe invite. I think if he had 4 spades, I think he would have been very tempted even with this 7. You want to be a little more aggressive when they overcall a no trump. And
but
actually,
you're also not so happy if it goes 2 clubs and partner bids 2 spades and you bid 2 no and now they bid 3 no, and you're most likely not going to be in a great spot with a stiff queen spades opposite 4 spades and no 4.
Even if he bids 2 diamonds and has 3 spades, now you're really in trouble if you're playing 3 no.
If he bids yeah, if he bids 2 diamonds, you probably have to bid.
Pass. Yeah, you might pass.
You
I
could probably
guess.
bid 2 hearts, maybe, and if partner has 3 spades and 2 hearts, they'll correct back to the 2 spades, and then maybe you bid 2 no, pick a minor or something, which is possibly a way. Although you might somehow play a 4-2 heart fit if you do bid 2 hearts. If partner's 2-2 in the majors.
Something interesting happened here,
Yep.
which is that this suit is going to get blocked here, except that I think Ish will find winning the 9 and under leading because he doesn't really have a side entry.
Also, Kevin with Jack third would almost certainly have played the Jack here, hoping that Finn had ace king. You never really, as declare, play the
Fair
7
point.
Jack 7.
It's a good inference.
Unless you, I mean, maybe you can see that this might be a problem for the defense, but that's really deep to be able to see that and instantly play the 7 of spades. That's beyond most people.
Yeah, and you know that the suit is blocked if you cash the ace here. Partner's showing you 4, so it's kind of you have more to gain than to lose by underleading here, even if you don't have this inference.
Mhm.
I was bringing up the light invite in this situation because against Finn and Ish in Reno in the National Swiss, my partner opened the bidding a minor. They overcalled a no trump, and Ish holding ace 5th of hearts and a side Jack 3rd in a minor and out, transferred to 2 hearts and bid 2 no. And they got themselves to a ridiculous game that made for lose 10 against me. So that kind of stuck with me. It was kind of interesting that Finn and Ish are involved in this hand too that we're watching. So
Yeah, we love the bad beat stories.
well, it's just
Yeah.
highlights how aggressive people try to be over a no trump overcall.
Yeah, it's
I got a
struggle.
bad beat story for you since we have some time here. I was playing Rubber Bridge last night, if you can believe that, and I'm in a club slam, and I need to throw away a diamond loser from dummy. So I have ace, queen, jack, and a little in hearts in my hand, and king doubleton on the board. I play the king, I cash the ace, I cash the queen, and throw my diamond away. I'm east roughs, and then like they get another trick, and at the end of the hand, I notice my lefty has no more hearts left. We get into a large argument about how this person with 2 remaining hearts in his hand decided to rough my my hearts, and the game broke up. That was a fun time.
Yeah.
Unlucky.
Yes.
Very unlucky.
Here there might be something to be said for not even cashing the spades. You don't really think declare has all the tricks that you're not going to get your spades. And sometimes, not probably on this hand, but sometimes you don't want to cash, especially when it suits 4-4, you don't want to cash all 4 tricks if you don't have a clear follow-up, because it can end up making things easier for declare.
Yeah, for sure. East might be coming under pressure to find a discard, especially having all the suits to protect in an auction like this in particular.
Yeah, with East having all the tricks.
One thing I want to
all the
mention,
points,
you notice Kevin's throwing a club away from the dummy here. If you notice, you could get into a spot where the club suit is blocked here. It's good to get the guys out of the way.
He does underlead the spade, probably for a lot of the same reasons we had mentioned.
Someone asked what the revoke penalties are in Rubber Bridge.
Well, I mean,
Ending the game.
a beating.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not too established. And here, yeah, they're just going to cash the spades. But yeah, sometimes this will cause East some problems on discards, or might potentially set up squeezes later for declare when, if you wait to develop your tricks before cashing your spades. Here, it almost certainly won't matter, but sometimes that is a theme.
10 is an interesting card.
Well, he's gonna win this, and he's probably gonna play a heart to the ace and hook a club. In fact, that is exactly what he's doing.
Yeah,
and so,
he's kind of, he started with 3 clubs, right? Or 4? How many did he start with?
3.
3, so it didn't matter.
Three. No, it didn't matter, but this is
Playing 6 now, or 7.
Yeah, so 7.
in order to have an opening hand at that point, East had to have the king of clubs. So in the other room,
Nickel and diming.
2 spades went down 1, so Bramley.
yeah, at
picked
the
up
other
one.
table, they competed to 2 spades, which is not totally unreasonable. You are 5-4-3-1, and your texture in spades and diamonds are good depending on what options you had. It's close, but it's not. It's
Asked what happened to segment 7, but I don't know what it says that they're glad it's live again. But what happened to segment 7? They couldn't find live commentary for it. But today,
yeah, today is 5, 6, 7, 8. So
5,
7
6,
is
7,
going
8.
to
So
be
7 is
after
coming up
this.
after this, unless you're referring to the first match a couple days ago, which I think we actually, me and you did a commentary on that match. But
Yeah, we did segment 7, you and I.
and so
But,
here this might actually 2 clubs, 2 diamond. Yeah, this might result in just North passing 2 diamonds out, although they might invite.
oh, you're not. No,
Right.
there's North is not passing. I don't
That's
think.
probably true. Although playing more of a 14 to 16 no trump.
But they're not. They're 15 to 17, I believe.
Yeah.
And
Oh, the scorecard is messed. Yeah, the scorecard is messed up. I noticed that on Lovebridge too, where they skipped one segment, I think, in the scorecard, and like so it's all got messed up. But yeah, this is segment 6.
this is segment 6. Yeah, and they'll go back and fix that. Just
Oh, he
to
just
my
did 3
point.
now.
Yeah, to my point, I was going to say it's more likely that he bids 3 no than that he passes 2 diamonds because
Yeah,
his
yeah.
diamond texture is so good that he
Yeah, I'm
can
used
just kind
to
of take a flyer here.
favorable. I'm used to more of a 14 or even 13 to 16 1 no range where I wouldn't really know him. But
Well, as
we've already seen them open one of a minor with 14, so they probably don't upgrade as much as probably it's just 15 something.
and this is a bit of a gamble because you're going to get a heart lead more than likely since your partner's denied a major. But if partner has a heart stop and no major, the likelihood of running 6 diamond tricks is a lot higher.
Yeah, and West might
That's-
actually lead a low heart, which would give away the contract.
Well, I mean, on this layout, I think it's going to be hard to imagine the defense.
Oh, if he leads,
Well,
yeah,
let's
I mean,
see.
Yeah, now he has 9 tricks, right? 6 diamonds. 2
Unless you
hearts,
lead
club.
the king of hearts here, there's nothing to be
well,
done.
when the jack of hearts holds, what's going to happen is he's probably going to play the 10 of clubs from the dummy.
When the jack of hearts hold, doesn't he have 9 tricks?
Yeah, but he might as
Oh,
well
yeah,
try
he
to
can run
well
the 10 of
play the
clubs. Yeah,
10
he
of
can run the 10 of
clubs
clubs.
and hope that a club is on side or that he finds something out. I mean, you have 9
Right,
for
yeah,
sure
yeah.
already.
But he's never
Yeah,
going to make on this layout. He's never going to make more than.
You can't afford to try the spade hook. They might have 5 winners. You do.
Yeah, that would be not best, as I like to say.
Yeah, someone was asking about the segment before this, and I don't know exactly what happened with the segment before this. Maybe it wasn't linked up.
Well,
to
you're sharing your screen. Click on the scorecard.
No, they're talking about just the Twitch, the stream.
Oh, I see. Yeah, no clue on that one. Sorry.
It was, yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe it was not linked up to the Lovebridge platform properly, which
Well,
I think
I logged in for a moment, and Debbie and Amber were doing commentary for the few minutes I was on. So
Did you navigate to there directly from Lovebridge, or did you go to Twitch directly?
I went to the Lovebridge site and clicked on the display. I didn't do it on Twitch. So okay, so he does float it, and now let's see what's going to happen here. He might duck this.
I don't think there's a point in ducking you when you already denied 4 hearts in the auction. I think you just
Oh, that's true.
cash the
That's-
diamonds and then maybe hope something goes well. But you're never really going to risk taking the club finesse again unless they pitch enough hearts where you know it's safe.
Yeah, in fact, Ish is going to be in kind of a
He has to make 5
Unhappy.
discards. He can probably discard 2 spades, a club,
heart
and a heart.
He's going to discard 3
And another,
spades.
he can probably discard 3 spades, all 3 spades.
Yeah. Anyway, at teams, this is much less interesting because he'll just
Yeah, just
he'll just take his 9. At pairs, it's a lot more interesting because
pairs, it's a bit of a problem to try to figure out how you can get the 10th trick. Although with North bidding 3-0, you might already be ahead of the field.
yes, this is another consideration if you're in a contract that rates to be good.
Oh, and now he's
relative-
going to make all of them because Ish.
Well, he's not going to make all of them, but he's going to make 5.
Right,
Yeah.
except he's the king of spades going to lose. But yeah,
It's, interesting play there by Ish. I mean, I
Yeah,
guess
and the
it's
pairs
the
of
only chance.
it's the only
Yeah,
chance
it's
to
the only
set,
chance, but
those
you-
imps do add up. And is Kevin gonna take the bait? I don't know. I mean, it might be worth it.
Yeah, it's
I-
very unlikely,
Risk,
but
risking a
two
couple
imps.
imps to get 10. I don't know.
but you need him to be finessing it like 20% of the time probably for it to be. And I don't think Kevin's going to risk the contract really any percentage of the time.
well, keep in
Is it-
mind that while it's likely that Declare has the Jack of Clubs, it was not necessary that Declare had the
Take
Jack.
a restroom
If
break.
Declare doesn't have the jack of clubs, then you can keep 2 clubs. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's true. Well, anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, 9 imps to Bramley. So what, or 8 imps to Bramley. So what happened at the other table?
So at the other table, scorecard. At the other table, they played.
Oh, that's interesting. Let's click on
Three
what
hearts.
happened here.
So
Oh,
Sal
so
was
they-
in,
So they overcalled.
and it went double, take out 3 hearts, pass, and North maybe could consider doubling again, but it's a little risky.
He took the low road, which unfortunately he didn't find out all the things that Brian found out at the other table.
Right. Oh, here's a bit of excitement. So it went 1 diamond, 1 spade, and then East splintered in diamonds. So they'll get to 4 spades.
Yeah, and Ish probably would like to bid more here, except that his spades are terrible. He might still bid 4 hearts. If partner has 4 trump and a stiff diamond, you really don't need very much. But
Yeah.
he also strength high card wise may not want to encourage partner and give him a choice. We can see that if he bid 4 hearts, Finn would have a real problem. Although he'd be very likely to just pass or just bid 4 spades. So yeah, on the actual hand with 2 spades, he's going to make 6 spades. So
I don't think that's right, Willie? He can pitch 2. Yeah, he's going to
lose a
lose a
spade.
club and a club.
He's not going to lose a club. He's going to get 2 discards from the East hand.
Oh, right. You're going to get 2 discards. Is there any reason you might not?
Or maybe it's not enough tricks. Maybe it's not enough tricks. But.
Yeah, because you need to rough 2 diamonds as well as use 2 trumps to pull. So you can't really rough that 3rd club, even if you can get that club pitch from East. Also, you might not necessarily just play ace and a trump right away, because you might think diamonds have a probability of being 5-1. Some percentage of the time they're going to be 5-2. Sorry, and when they're 5-2, you're going to need to rough a couple in dummy, 3 in dummy.
I kind of joined just now, but looking at these cards, I would play for a cross rough. Who were me?
If you're playing for a cross rough, I think you should cash the king of diamonds first.
Yeah, that was.
But maybe he's not playing. I assume he's not planning on playing for a full cross rough here, because you wouldn't do the king of diamonds if you're playing that. But there are problems with that, where maybe if clubs are 5-1, you have an issue getting your club tricks trying to cross rough.
He is going to cross rough now, I think. Oh, maybe not.
I think at this point you can play ace of spades and a spade. Yeah.
Yeah, he will. And I don't think there's a 12th trick to be had in 6 spades unless I'm missing something.
No, unless
The
even
double
if North
dummy
plays the king
solver
of
will
hearts,
help us.
South is behind dummy.
I mean, I don't know how. It looks like he took all the tricks that were available to me.
Yeah, this one.
Saying that he hasn't claimed yet.
Oh, he
Feels
was.
like
No. He
there's
was
a
cold.
squeezer.
He did have 12 tricks.
In what way?
He has 7 spades. Oh, it's only 6 spades.
Yeah.
Sorry, 6 spades, 3 diamonds, and 2 clubs. Yeah, he only has 11.
I don't even know what kind of squeeze could happen here, but I guess why not try for it?
Yeah, well, you're just hoping that maybe something.
Well, the
happens.
guy with king, queen of.
If North has king, queen, jack of hearts left and the queen, jack, 10 of clubs.
Well, that's not
Oh,
impossible.
Fair,
His
fair
son-
enough. It's not a 0% chance. All right.
Double, yeah, a double dummy or single dummy, not a 0% chance, but with the bidding and everything, it's. But there's also no hurt. Sometimes people just, I don't know.
Yeah,
We've seen some.
Yeah, so anyway, the more I think about this, with East being an unpassed hand, I'm kind of surprised Ish didn't at least try 4 hearts. It's
Well, with
certainly
such weak spades, even if partner has ace, king, queen, fourth, imagine partner has a diamond void. You're gonna possibly have some issues roughing 3 diamonds, right? You don't even have the 9 of spades.
the thing is the opening bidder is to your right, so
Even if you use 3
a
trumps,
club to the king is likely to work, and I don't know.
yeah, you really would want partner to have 5 spades for it to be comfortable, though, because you need
Well,
to rough 3 diamonds. It's just
the
gonna
issue,
play horribly.
the issue from my perspective, the reason why I think 4 hearts is worth considering is that, and especially these guys, they overcall a lot, and his hand is so much different than a minimum hand where the splinter doesn't help at all. He has a heart void, he has good texture, king of clubs is well placed. The bad spades are certainly why he chose 4 spades, but I think
Yeah,
it's
you have the bad
close.
spades, but you also have 7 points in the suit your partner is short in, and it's not terrible. Ace king isn't terrible, but I think if the king of diamonds was the king of spades, then you would have a clear 4 heart bid. But with the king of diamonds,
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not sure if you imagine hands with 4 spades, even some really good ones. If diamonds are 5-2, which is not all that unlikely, and you need to rough 3 diamonds, you're gonna have problems pulling the trumps if they split 3-1.
All right. So anyway, on this hand,
Yeah, 1 no, pass 3 no. I think-
declare is just going to take their 10 winners.
Well, they might only get 9. We'll see if Brian finds the spade shift here.
Well, he's just going to duck the club.
Oh yeah, that's fair point.
Probably because he can hope his partner has the ace of diamonds and the queen 10 of spades,
Yeah.
for example. So he's certainly going to duck this.
So most advanced players have minor suit transfers as part of their structure over 1 no here, but there's no real reason to do it with the East hand. You are not looking to play at 5 diamonds or 6 diamonds. Might as well just give the defense no information to go on.
Right.
Yeah, and it kind of highlights the importance sometimes of just bidding 3 no. You'll note that Brian, on the 3 no we were discussing earlier with the ace queen 6 of diamonds and a stiff jack, just jumped to 3 no over a strong no trump, because a lot of times those are just tricks. And similarly with the East hand, he has the king jack of spades, the queen of hearts. Even if partner's diamonds aren't great, you might still be able to set them up and have entries in the major suits. So, and he did have the jack 10 of clubs also, I suppose. So, pardon me.
Yeah, so this one looks like this one.
This will be a routine 10.
Yeah, and no chances really at all for 12. Yeah, he just claimed 10. He probably asked some question about the cards.
He probably asked if anything silly was happening, and when they say no, you just throw it in. From the lead, you can be suspicious that the clubs are connected.
It was an
So.
interesting just culture shock when I set up the high level bridges. Someone will just like fold their hand as declare without even showing it to you, and everyone just accepts what's going on. That was a struggle to adjust to. I still struggle with it, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, and for the record, you're not the only one. There's a lot of people who really don't like it, and that's certainly a reasonable thing.
All right, well, we might get to see the first real fireworks today here.
Well, they might, but with well, they might.
As the card lie, 6 spades is going to be cold, but you wouldn't necessarily really want to be there.
Well, if this 2 spade bid shows 6, I would be extremely tempted to raise the 3 spades with Kevin's hand, because
And if they ever ask for key cards, I doubt they'll ever get to slam, because when you're off 1 key card and the queen, you just generally don't bid slam unless you have a 9 card trump bid or better.
right.
And 3 clubs he bids, and then
Now it feels pretty unlikely we'll see a drive to slam.
Although, what about
Well,
six
he's going to bid.
diamonds
He's going to
is
bid
probably
3
better.
spades.
Yeah.
He's going to bid 3 spades,
Right.
and Kevin's going to bid 4 hearts, which will actually Brian might bid 3-0 now if 2 spades
I was thinking
showed
if you've
6.
shown if you've shown 6 already, I bid 3-0 there.
Yeah, he very much might do that. But if he does choose 3 spades, Kevin will certainly bid 4 hearts to show a good raise to 4 spades. It's close though, because after partner bids, I mean, it depends on your style, but 3 clubs is certainly, in my view, 10 cards at least in the minors. And now, if you bid, what's that?
I think it could also be a 5-4-3-1 with 3 little hearts, no heart stopper.
You might, and see, Brian bid 3 diamonds, and that I really like 3 diamonds. Kevin will now bid. What is Kevin to do here?
A lot of it depends on if 2 spades showed 6 or could have just been a 5-card suit.
Yeah, this is. I'm a big proponent of playing something kind of weird here, where you play the major bid shows 5 and 2 no shows 6, which runs into other issues about siding. But the real problem is that you have auctions like this where, boy, it would be great to know right away if partner has a 6 spade or
key
not.
card ask, right?
Yeah, key card has, and now I think they'll get to 6 diamonds because they're not going to be off any key cards. And so whereas if spades are trumps, they're off 1 key card and the queen, but with diamonds as trump, they're only off the queen of trumps. So they'll just probably bid 6 diamonds, and here it won't have a problem making. Not necessarily one you want to be in, but
Yeah, I would
not the
say
worst.
looking at the cards, you don't really want to be in 6 diamonds, but it will cruise home, it looks like.
Oh, 6 diamonds is fine. I mean, you need. Well, it's not
Need the
great.
diamonds to come home for no losers.
Yeah, that's true. It's not
As well
great.
as a little bit of, you might have a little bit of a problem if spades are 4-1, getting rid of your 4th club, although that should not be the main issue. But on some,
But the more I'm thinking about this auction, the more I like 3 diamonds. Look at this from North's perspective, that his partner has very likely 6 diamonds, maybe 5-5, but a lot of the time 6 diamonds. Look how useful my hand is for him in diamonds all of a sudden, with the ace of hearts, the ace of spades, and queen 10 of clubs. So I kind of like this 3 diamond waiting bid, because if partner now bids 3 hearts, you can bid 3 no. If partner now bids 3 spades, you can raise to 4. There's a lot of good that can come. And sometimes partner has a moose like this, and hearing you bid 3 diamonds is all they needed to drive. So
yep.
I like what happened here. And Kevin's going to wish that the queen of clubs was the queen of diamonds. But other than that, with the cards as they are, this is going to roll home.
And with Bramley at the other table, I believe they play the convention 6 diamonds always makes. So
There you
there's
go.
probably a good chance they'll bid 6 diamonds just because of that.
A good shout out there. So it's interesting whether Ish leads a heart or a spade. I suspect he might even lead a trump.
You might lead a low spade too, which if you're going to lead a spade, because North is never really going to put in the jack unless they have a spade void in their own hand.
He might lead a trump here, actually.
Yeah, that's reasonable. I mean, actually, you might just lead a heart. A heart lead actually seems more appealing now that I think about it. If
It's certainly indicated.
yeah, club lead is not going to be good. First of all, partner could have doubled 5 clubs if they really wanted a club lead. So I would rule out a club, but I think I would lead a heart. Try to build a heart trick and then maybe get him with a spade and have a cashing heart if possible. Or
This is a really interesting lead problem. So what we're calling attention to is general principles with club length and the declarer known to have the cards like this, and you having spades locked up. That's what makes you kind of lean towards a trump, is to hope that they just don't have 12 right away, and that you can make things difficult by preventing too many club roughs or a club rough at all.
I kind of like this low spade lead now that you brought it up though, because you know Declare's got to go up with the ace in this kind of spot to avoid a quick ruff. It's interesting. Of course, on the other hand, you might just be helping them set up side suit.
Right. It's
Well,
something
the
where
problem. Yeah, go ahead, Harrison. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I think on other hands it might be better, but here when South has a singleton spade, most likely you would think South has a singleton spade, especially if two spades showed six, where South never even showed spade support. You might just be helping them set it up, but
Right.
it could
Right.
definitely be right if you need to set up your king of spades. Maybe they need to take a heart finesse or something where there's some things where they might have a side suit problem where they need to hop ace and you give them a guess in the side suit right away as to how to discard the spade loser because they're worried that they can't finesse the spade and suffer a ruff there.
I would be worried leading a spade that, since I have three, that they're 6-3-3-1, and I know that they're going to be able to be set up. And so my initial thought was a trump, but he does lead a high spade.
I'm not sure about a trump lead though, because
the more I think about it, I like a heart better than a trump.
Yeah, I like a heart lead. I think
I would have let a heart without thinking too hard at the table, honestly. But
I assume the queen of spades is only because South could have a spade void, and you really don't want to let him just get that jack of spades for free. Because if South has a stiff spade or two spades, you want to probably be leading the three.
And Declare exhales now.
Yeah, although now maybe you're worried.
No, now he's just going to repeat the finesse and play a spade.
Oh yeah, now you can go over with the heart. Yeah,
Yeah,
I was gonna say if you go over with the club, you might have a problem, but
yeah, now he's just
because if you cross with if West had the queen of diamonds inducted, and you cross with the club, then when you take the diamond finesse and West wins the queen of diamonds, they can lead a heart, knock out dummy's ace of hearts entry, and you haven't pulled the trump yet, and so you would actually go down.
Except if you did that and you played a trump and they showed out, you'd cash the ace king of diamonds and
so they
play
could
a
duck from
spade.
queen third. That would be something where it's not the most unreasonable play to duck with queen third there when dummy has a doubleton and a long suit.
True, that's a hard play though.
In the I mean, in slams, you think about it, and I think Ish is definitely good enough where with queen third.
Yes, he is for sure.
True. Of course, the defense might have indicated they have possession of the king of spades by that point, so perhaps it's indicated that they're not doing that. It is a fun little possibility, though.
There is a bit of spy versus spy here, though, that the queen of spades lead is from the king also, and so
right. But I mean, I think you would expect the Declare to not have the king of spades.
He has four hearts.
I mean, even if Declare had the king, wouldn't he pitch it under the ace to get another entry? Yeah, I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah.
Well, the queen could have been stiff. Yeah.
Here, I was going to say, if West had not had four hearts, he has a really good spade suit. Might consider passing, but with four hearts, he just raise hearts.
He's still thinking about it over there.
Vulnerable penalties are no joke.
Yeah, four hearts. I was thinking about maybe if you're going to bid cubiting two spades or something like that, or even four clubs maybe is a splinter in hearts. I'm not sure if that's standard or if that's even what it would mean, but I think that's what I would mean. I haven't seen it before, but I assume that's.
I don't know what else it could be really.
Well, I mean, you might just have some mountainous minor hand. I mean,
yeah, like 6-6 in the minors or something. I mean, it doesn't mean that much.
Wouldn't three clubs show something?
Well, but that's not forcing. That's just kind of invitational.
Yeah.
I mean, you might have some real whale.
Maybe two spades and then a club bid. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah. So four hearts, this one should not be a challenge.
Well, there's
the trump break.
Even with the trump break, you can, I mean, yeah, maybe, but I think you just knock out the ace of diamonds and have no issues. When they don't.
The thing is, he's not going to know that the clubs are 6-3. So when it goes club, and he roughs and finds out the hearts are 4-1. I don't know. It's not like the dummy is teeming with entries over there, and the guy did overcall spades to your left. So
But when they play ace king of clubs and you rough it, I think you think about what could happen if the trumps are 4-1 and the king of diamond when with nobody leading diamonds, it doesn't seem likely that diamonds are going to be 4-1. If North had a stiff, he might have let it.
Well, he might play one diamond and they just duck.
And then they duck it, and then you might.
And now you're in the same problem because
yeah, you might have the same problem.
Yeah, this is not as
yeah, maybe not as easy as
this is not as easy as it looks at first glance. My sense is that he will play a high diamond is my guess, but after that it's going to get a little.
Yeah, he probably thinks he's doing a spade trick with the spade finesse off, likely, but here we can see that's not a problem.
Yes, if the king of spades were offside, this would definitely be a nicer proposition. I think.
And in fact, does he need to play the king of diamonds to make this? Or am I just miscounting over tricks here? It's not clear to me.
I don't think he needs to right now because he can always lose a trump trick even if he needs to. Right, he can lose a club, a diamond, and a trump. But he might have some problems. Let's say he leads the ace of hearts and a heart. Ace of hearts. I don't know. He's gonna think he might think about this one for a while because if hearts are 4-1, it's a bit tricky.
Oh, Bramley picked up. So what happened here? What was the source of that?
Whoa.
All right, let's see if I can figure out how.
You're being very fancy. You could just go back to where we were.
Yeah. I'll just go into the match. Oh,
well, for those of you watching who haven't yet navigated the Love Bridge site, you'll notice Harrison checking out all the buttons that are possible.
So let's see. What board was it?
Oh, good. We're going to do it this way. Okay. Good luck.
20. It was this one, right? So six diamonds made 6. The other table was in 3-no trump only.
Wow. Let's click on that. I'm interested to see.
In their auction?
Yeah.
We'll do it this way. We'll go to match view and we'll. Oh no, this isn't going to work.
Go back one.
We can click this, right?
Yep.
Oh, and 3-no trump.
Okay, so yeah, so in the position that we were debating whether it would be 3-no or 3 spades, and Brian picked 3 diamonds, which I think we decided was pretty good. He made what I would suspect from those watching is what seems like a normal bid with ace jack third of hearts of 3-no. Now the problem here is
take another bid.
I wonder how the play went here. He must have played spades hoping that the other hand was going to win it. Yeah, and now the roof fell in. Okay.
Wow.
All right, let's go back to what we were doing.
Oh, wrong match. Sorry. This is a bit different. I haven't done Love Bridge too much, so
sorry. They tell me that young people are good with technology.
Yeah, not me.
I see. Okay.
I think it's an interesting plan.
So he cashed.
So
he cashed 1 heart now and played the king of diamonds, which I guess is no cost.
This is how I think I would handle it at the table too.
Yeah, Brian really should probably duck this, and that makes things the trickiest. If you win the ace, I don't think it's going to be too difficult to make. But if he ducks it, you have a bit of a problem.
So I think Rosenthal. Let's work on the current hand, I guess.
The other thing is if North does show up with ace king of clubs and the ace of diamonds, 4-7-11, I guess he could still easily.
He did jump to 4 hearts. I mean, you don't know yet that the hearts are 4-1.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, the guy played the 9 of hearts, but missing 9, 8, 7, 6 little, you don't know for sure that that's a singleton, especially for players of this caliber. They will often
this is an important
their
point.
spots.
Try to randomize your trump spots so they don't automatically assume, oh, he played a high one, he's out of them.
Yeah,
you're giving away too much information.
So Brian needs to duck this, and then the hand gets real interesting because at that point, you'll probably just hope the hearts are 3-2 and play a heart to the dummy. But when that happens, it gets real fuzzy all of a sudden.
We have a long enough break here. Can we go back to the last board? I want to talk
Yeah.
about
At the other table, or
Rosenthal's.
No,
the-
don't.
Okay, fine.
Hit scorecard. Go down. Hit scorecard.
Okay, well they're
And now
playing tricks.
click.
Here. Go back. They're playing tricks.
Okay.
So I just thought we had some downtime.
Okay, so he did duck the diamond.
yeah, this is a bit tricky.
I'm gonna pin your looks like a routine 4 hearts comment from the start of
Yeah,
this.
I thought so
on
because
my
the king of
bullet
spades is
board.
stiff. If he knows the king of spades is stiff,
It's easy when you see all the hands, but this is
yeah,
not trivial at all.
yeah, I was thinking that when he leads a spade up,
I
we'll find
think he'll cash the jack of hearts.
I don't know about that because then you're still stuck in your hand.
Yeah,
Not
maybe
sure
he
what
won't.
I play a
advantage
heart
Jack
for the
has over
queen.
playing the low
I
one.
assume
Yeah.
if you're gonna play a heart, you're gonna play a heart to the queen. Give yourself some options, and then at that point, you might just need to rely on the spade finesse working, where you just rough a club to your hand. No, that doesn't even work.
No, this was the
think that-
downside of cashing the ace of hearts first. It
I
turned
think
out.
what he might need to do. Well, no, yeah, because here, if hearts are 3-2, he's making it. If he knows for sure hearts are 4-1, I think he just needs to rely on the spade finesse working, where you can just lead the queen of diamonds now. But you don't want to lose the queen of diamonds to the ace, get a diamond rough, and then lose to the spade finesse when hearts were 3-2 all along.
Yeah, so what we're saying here is if the hearts are 3-2, he still doesn't have like a super convenient way to rough his club, by the way, and get over there.
Yeah,
He almost needs North to have 3 hearts, which is not happening.
Let's think
This is tough. I actually think he's going to get this right and just rely on the spade finesse and give up the diamond and diamond rough, because everything else looks a lot worse. You would need North to have the 3rd heart. And that's not super indicated here.
Well, I think because the king of spades is sitting singleton, it's hard for him to go wrong here, right?
Well, he could go wrong if he plays. I think if he plays a trump, and then at that point he might need to play a diamond now before playing a trump, because even if he plays a trump to dummy,
Yeah.
he needs to rough a club at that point, right? If he plays a trump to dummy and he needs to rough a club,
Yeah, this is a very interesting hand.
yeah, I don't think he can play a trump at this point. I think if he plays a trump, he's down. I think the only way to make it would be to play the queen of diamonds.
Well, you can hit the DDS button. Does he
Yeah, I
have to
don't-
play the queen? Go ahead, hit the button right there.
Oh, I guess he has
Oh,
to play.
interesting.
Let's figure this out. Now, so now that we know, you have to play a heart over.
Yeah, and what ends up happening is, I guess, you get to rough the club and play ace of spades, queen of spades, and you're going to lose. And because the clubs are 6-3, you're just going to lose. Or I guess ace of spades, queen of diamonds.
No, that's the same.
Can we go back to the last hand again now? that there's no motion?
Sure. So go down and click scorecard,
Why not figure out this hand?
Scorecard.
But scorecard's fine.
and
Oh.
then hit play on the 3-no down 2 on 25
We already
right
looked
there.
at this one.
Well, but
Okay,
I
well,
want to talk
James-
about Rosenthal's line here, because it seems reasonable to think like, okay, you're playing for, one of the king or queen of spades to be on your left, and that's all that can really go bad for you here. But by not playing a second diamond right away, you're giving up the chance of dropping the queen and just being ice cold. And
Right.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know that that's. I think I would play the
Right.
king of diamonds and take that chance first. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
This is a very good point here to combine chances by playing a diamond to the king first, because now you don't need the 75% of having one of the spades to your left. So that's a very good call out.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back to where we were.
right, so how does he make this? Because he can't. Maybe. Oh,
He-
actually, can you just?
Okay, well,
Well, now he's
True.
down because it's going to go ace of diamonds, diamond rough, and
I'm not sure ace of diamonds, diamond rough is what beats it, because at that point he just exits. You can pull the trumps, and you have the ace, queen of spades, and a good diamond, right?
well, but everything else has got to be
I
worse.
guess
right?
everything else is worse, but ace of diamonds, diamond rough.
It's got to be ace of diamonds, diamond rough to beat this. And now I guess Kevin can exit with
A
a
heart. Yeah, because you can't get to dummy to pull the last trump is the problem. Maybe if you lead a heart, you win it in dummy, but you can't rough the club back to your hand because then you can't get to dummy.
no, but that doesn't matter because he can just
Yeah.
pull trump and play a spade.
No, he can't pull trump if he roughed a club. He needs to rough a club.
No, he has his diamonds set up in his hand.
Yeah, but what's he doing with the jack of clubs loser?
No. He's making. No, if this goes ace of diamonds, diamond rough, and he plays a trump.
I
Yeah,
was
how can
thinking,
you-
yeah, a trump lead because you can't get to dummy rough the club and draw the trumps. That's what I believe needs to happen is you rough a diamond, play a trump here. right?
Yeah. And if he plays a spade, it just transposes where you win the ace, and if a trump was actually wrong, you could play a trump over anyways. But yeah, no, a trump, I think a spade might also beat it, but a trump.
I mean, I don't see how you just draw trumps if you get the lead without having to rough. Let's see.
If it goes ace of diamonds, diamond rough, and south leads a trump, you can't do anything about the jack of clubs.
Yeah, you're right.
And if it goes ace of diamonds, diamond rough, and south leads a spade, you're still stuck in your hand and you can't do anything without a club. So
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter as long as south doesn't play the queen of clubs, I think. Although
So
north might not know the whole shape, although he should. Right.
Yeah,
Western-
I'm not actually sure what Brian's thinking about here. He might think his partner has jack fourth of hearts and be deciding whether he needs to just pound on clubs.
Yeah, diamond
I
here, I
don't
think
know.
is the only
I'm
play.
kind of talking out.
If you don't play a diamond here, declare can just pull the trumps and lose a club anyways.
Well, so let's see. If you're north, declare is 4-1 now, right? Given the bidding and the play thus far.
You also
Uh,
know that your partner probably has a
so-
spade card.
Right, and
Declare
partner
when to
has-
play it this way.
has to
with
have a
spades
spade
and
card
spades.
first.
He might just he does give him the diamond rough.
And now Kevin
now-
just has to be careful not to lead the queen of clubs. Yeah, and a heart back is going to be a clear beat because you just can't rough the club. So the other table made 4 hearts. So we can, after this, we can look at how they made it.
Good defense.
Yep.
Yeah, ducking the diamond was good. I think if they win the first diamond, it's all over. So that might have happened. That would be the easiest way, I think.
Oh, actually, maybe if North has the queen of clubs, you're still making it because you're squeezing North in spades and clubs.
Correct.
So that is the side. Right.
And that's what he's going to hope for here. He's going to cash his stuff. I think at this point from the tempo, Ish knows that the king of spades is coming up by Sal.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think he's just going to hope that the
So we'll play the queen of hearts now and then.
And we can always hope North makes a mistake. North really should not be pitching
With the
spade.
king of
This
spades
is a
pitch,
helpful.
there's
This is a helpful pitch here. Yeah, let partner know what's going on.
and now he can just claim one more trick and yeah, so he'll get one more trick. Let's see how the other table.
yeah, click other. You can go ahead and no, click other table or that's fine. Okay, so
Not the
I'm
ace of
gonna guess that the ace of diamonds was taken on the first round. Oh, he
Jack of
switched it.
spades, which makes it not really a
Oh.
problem. Now he king of diamonds, and now he didn't duck it, and now there's just no problem at all. You don't even need to rough the clubs. You can just lose 2 spades. You can rough 1 spade and just lose. Or you can rough 1 club. Sorry, you can rough 1 club and just lose the last trick. You probably could do a lot.
Well, he gets the rough here.
Yeah, and now he just pulls trumps.
Okay, all right, back to where we were.
I don't know if there's an easy way to go back without just.
There's that back.
the back button,
that's right
yeah.
there. Yeah.
Good shot.
Yeah, maybe. All right, new hand. 1 spade double.
1 spade double, and now East will. Ugh, what would I bid with the East hand? I might bid 3-no with the East hand, honestly.
I bid 2
Maybe
spades.
2, maybe 2-no.
2 spades, maybe.
Yeah, I would think 2 spades. His partner has 4 hearts. I think.
Yeah, 2 spades.
Probably
Fine.
want to be
Yeah,
at 4
sorry.
hearts. This is an interesting choice. Maybe he's seen Ish's doubles.
He did
before.
bid. He did bid 2-no. I mean, that was my first instinct, just on the sense that, like, if partner has a minimum takeout double, whatever. I have queen 10-9 fourth of spades, and partner might not have 4 hearts.
Yeah.
The problem with 2 spades is if partner bids 3 of a minor, you haven't gained anything. Now you can bid 3 hearts, I guess, but
Yeah, that's a
that would
good point.
get you a
might
level.
talk
It
yourself
would
right
get
out
you a
of,
level higher necessarily without finding a fit. So
Right, is partner really going to bid 3-no on their hand? They don't have 4 hearts with you. I can see that.
yeah, so I kind of like what happened here. And Kevin is probably leading a low spade, although that
I mean,
it's hard to decide what to root for here. He might lead a
club or
club.
diamond lead.
He might lead a club, honestly. I don't think a diamond's in the game, just because presumably they had a transfer available, and you need a lot more for partner to pass here.
I just don't know how partner could have a running suit and an entry at any point on this auction.
Yeah, I think a spade is kind of normal.
Yeah, but you might hope that you're just leading passively and you have 2 spades, maybe a club trick, and maybe the heart is trick, and maybe you're just hoping for 5 slow tricks.
Yeah, that would be a reason to lead a diamond, which I'm sure he considered.
So I also think they must lead attitude, because this is the second hand they led.
Yeah.
Fifth.
Well, except that with ace fifth, ace 9 fifth, or whatever it was, Brian led the 3 and then the 2.
Maybe. I guess both hands. Yeah, both hands.
Both hands. Kevin's had a club on.
Showed a 5-card suit.
Yeah, and both hands have Kevin's had a club on her too. So I think it might be multi-way here.
Doesn't matter here, but you want to play the hearts in a way to guard against the 4-1 break.
Okay, my audio might be a little screwy for a second, so hold on a second.
Kevin will win the queen. And at this point, I assume we'll probably cast and play a diamond or something like that. There's really not much you can do.
Yeah, well,
East West is going to take 7 more tricks, right? Just 2 spades.
so you basically know your partner can't have any of the high remaining spades here. Way trick 1 was played.
Yeah.
You know, Declare has both red aces on this bidding. So I guess you could lead a club. Hope partner as the queen there. But yeah, other than that, not a lot to be done.
Yeah, no matter what, Declare is going to be able to take 2 more spades, 2 more hearts, a club, and 3 diamonds.
Okay, did that work? Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, my sound went away, I think, for a moment.
So actually, yeah, this is a success for East West, who played 3-0 instead of 4 hearts.
Oh,
which,
yeah, look at that.
4 hearts, you have too many slow losers, probably.
Another vote for 2-0 initially with East hand, with the texture and spades and the kind of chunky tens and balanced hand. I think it was a reasonable choice.
Mhm.
Okay, so this match, Bramley's made quite a comeback in this set.
Yeah.
If I recall, they were down pretty considerably. Can we hit the scorecard and see how much they picked up? They
Well,
have
they're
picked up,
some on this.
they have picked up 36 so far. Go ahead and go back. We know that they're gonna lose here. I guess it'll be 10 back
I'm
to
gonna leave in like 5 minutes. So.
Oh, I guess before I said they had 2 spades. They just have 1 spade. 1 spade, 2 hearts, a club, and 2 diamonds.
Yes, James, your sound works.
Yeah, it's great. Might be tempted to shift to a club here, which would not go well for his side.
Yeah, it's kind of like your last chance.
So, well,
Just to
but I
hope
think
partner has-
if partner has the queen of clubs, it's not going to run anywhere.
Well, you might need to set before they set up their spade trick, right? Because the spade is
But-
their trick.
Yeah,
Yeah. Partner could have like the queen.
you need queen 10.
Queen
Yeah.
10. Yes, you're
Or
right.
queen fourth. Queen fourth is good enough.
Yeah, queen fourth is good enough also.
But I think he encouraged in diamonds. North encouraged in diamonds, so he
No,
might.
they play standard.
Oh, they play standard, so he discouraged in diamonds. So yeah, club switch. I don't know if there's a reason to not.
And it'll be the 9 of clubs most likely. In case it's Jack 10 doubleton.
Wouldn't that be a problem if partner has
Partner
queen
play
10
low.
third though?
He did play low. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you just need 2 club tricks and the spade, so you don't need to unblock for the extra under trick here. But here, he just claims, yeah. He could have maybe. Why is he claiming 10 tricks?
He gets an extra trick now because they gave him a club there. He just needs to knock out the spade and
Yeah. Oh, right, there was still the spade out. Yeah, he didn't need to knock the spade out. Yeah. All right, and this one.
Actually, go back just for a second. Go hit the scorecard and pull it up.
He had to knock out the spade.
No, now on the top left, there's cards under the word diagram. Click on that.
Under the word die.
Click
Yeah,
on that. Yep. And click on like where they got to. See if it'll show. Okay, so what happens here if he
just to lose the spade.
oh, he can't get back to his hand. Well, I was thinking that yeah, he can't get back to his hand. I was thinking there might be a squeeze a foot, but no, there's not. Okay, anyway. 2-0
That was a bit interesting. You could open a diamond and bid 2 spades.
which with 4-4 in the majors has a lot of upside.
Interesting 2-0 opener. Not sure I would
Oh, he's
Going
got
that way.
20 and he's balanced. Yeah.
ish.
You
Yeah.
could open
I
the
don't know.
diamond and bid 2 spades, and it helps you get to more diamond slams.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels
Well, that getting to a
Fuck.
diamond slam was not a concern on this one. I'll say that.
right,
No,
but like
not.
2-0 is kind of this. They call it the slam killer opening, right? I feel like that hand looks very slam positive.
Well, sometimes it's a suit. Well, it's yes and no. There will be times where by upgrading you get to these 19 or 20 opposite tens that are rocks. I mean, I've certainly gotten to a lot of slams by opening 2-0s that you would say, you don't appear to have 20 high card points, but you know.
Yeah.
And this one looks like it has no real play at all, right? Two spade losers, a club and diamond. Someone asked for an update in all the matches, the scores.
Yeah, that's fine. Hit home.
I'm gonna take off. Thanks for having me and thanks for
All
watching,
right,
everyone.
thanks
Of
for
course.
joining.
Thanks, James, for joining us. Hope to see you later on in this thing. And if not,
Watch Jeopardy Masters starting Monday. They're doing a terrible job getting the word out. ABC 8 o'clock.
all right,
All right,
thanks,
Jeff.
buddy. Take it easy. All right,
And
so
so-
you can see that the other matches, there hasn't been a ton of movement. Levine has picked back up some.
Levine's down by 50-ish, 60, and Lebowitz is up now. Their match is basically
35-ish.
tied, so they're still up by like 35-ish.
Yeah.
And Nichols up by 100. And in the Rosenthal Bramley match, Bramley has picked up 26 imps and is now up by 10-ish, a little more than 10.
Nice. Okay, so let's see what's going to happen here. So he pops queen basically because he rates to need that in order for something good to be happening.
Yeah. Someone asked what the penalties are. I think the penalties, I think each partnership maybe gets a certain amount of allotted time. I'm not exactly sure how it works, but on Lovebridge, I know they time you because I played on these tablets in December and they tell you if you're running slow. So I assume it's an automatic thing where if you just run over as a partnership, you get some type of penalty. I'm not sure how that works. There could be a possible problem maybe if a club comes back because the player can make a loser on loser play where maybe if they, it would be a bit double dummy, but if they do pitch a heart, they could probably make it because then they can tuck a spade in both hands. Not really realistic, but
I think
I think Kevin might switch to a heart. Might play a club with queen 10 third of spades. Maybe you just want to play a club.
might play a trump. I mean, honestly.
I don't know if I would consider Trump because you know that North has no more clubs, right? And with the queen 10 and dummy having no higher spade spots, it's very likely you're going to get a promotion if partner has a card over. Oh, yes.
Yeah, we're getting comments that if from one of the participants, thanks Owen for dropping it on the stream. If a pair goes over, they get penalized. So all these, if you go back to the scorecard, just for a moment. Oh, I guess he did play a trump, by the way.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, there's not
No,
here.
so if you go back to the one where we're seeing all the scores that they wanted us to check before, I just want to highlight all throughout you see these imp corrections everywhere, and these are to my knowledge time penalties that have been
They
enforced.
really add up for a lot of teams. Like 16 imps is a lot of imps to lose.
Yeah, on time. So go ahead and go
I mean,
back.
it is all time.
Yeah, go ahead and go back. Let's see what happened. So it went spade, spade.
This is not the right match either. My bad. Apologies. This is tough. Lovebridge is still. I just got used to bridge base recently, so now I have to go back.
Next time we'll have the 37-year-old do the technology and the 19-year-old do the commentary, and you know.
Yeah. All right, so he's gonna end up going down.
Well, no, it's not. That's not clear now because he can throw. Actually, I think
Oh yeah, now he can.
he might be okay here because he's going to get.
He can get 3 heart pitches on the diamonds.
Yep, he can just rough both clubs and hope that the third spade is with South. So this is going to roll home.
Well, if he
He has nothing else to play for. He's going to rough a club, and he's going to
rough a diamond back.
rough a diamond, and then he's going to.
Or he play ace jack and
know.
rough a diamond. Oh no,
That's still not enough.
yeah, no, still not enough.
Still not enough.
Doesn't have enough trumps.
No, he needed jack. He needed 10-9 of diamonds falling, which they didn't. Close, but no cigar, as they say.
Yep.
I'm sure to his screen mate or who's in the room, he's saying, okay, 3 of clubs is high, and I'll throw a heart away.
Yeah. Yeah. Table was in 1 no trump down 3. So they'll actually pick up imps for going down 1. I'm kind of curious how they got to 1 no trump. Strong club. One
over
heart pass is
one
0 to
no.
5, 1 no. Yeah,
And now having to lead out of your hand is very sad. Did Drew start with a club or something? Oh, no, he did lead a heart.
all right, I'll go back.
Okay, yeah. Anyhow, so 3 imps back to Rosenthal here. Or to yeah, to Rosenthal. So here Brian opens a club and Kevin will bid a spade. 2 diamonds, 2 spades.
Yeah, I assume just 2 spades, pass 4 spades, or
Yeah.
that seems like a reasonable prediction. If they play 3 diamonds intermediate, which is possible, maybe 3 diamonds, but
He might do it with a stiff spade, honestly, and his partner passing over 1 club. That
yeah,
makes
it
diamonds
seems tricky.
more appealing. Of course, on a hand where your partner has stuff and is not totally broke, bidding 3 diamonds could look very silly instead of being in 3 no. So 2 diamonds is certainly the normal bid. And Brian did bid 3
It's-
spades. I was going to say that with the ace, king, 4th, a trump, and a stiff diamond, it looks like 2.5.
Yeah, I don't think I would have bid it with this hand, but I think if I had 5 clubs and 3 hearts, I might have done it. But yeah, no, 3 spades is reasonable.
I know that this is kind of more common on these kind of hands. I tend to bid 2 spades, and if my partner passes, I live with it. And if partner bids again, I just go crazy. But I know a lot of people oftentimes will jump to 3 on hands that I think are kind of
Yeah,
border-
now they might get a little high,
Well, Brian should bid 4 spades now, having done this crap.
but the south hand is still really, really good with king 4th and partner suit, the ace of diamonds, ace of hearts, you have the 10 of spades.
Yeah, it might. That's another vote for 2 spades initially. Is this problem you might be giving partner? Oh
Now-
wow, he's been cooperated. Well
Now they're gonna get to
now
at least
Kevin's
5.
gonna be Blackwood.
They're gonna be in 6, most likely.
Oh, he's gonna find out they're off a key card, but
And yeah, I don't think they're gonna, if they're a key card, I don't think they're gonna stop in 5.
I don't think they are either. I think they're getting to slam all of a sudden. So I feel compelled to say that I think North has shown a lot more than he has here.
Yeah, North
Because
definitely.
what would he have done with the hand that has, ace, king, 4th of spades and ace, queen, jack, 5th of clubs and a stiff diamond? He would have done the exact same thing here. And if he has that hand, I mean, Kevin might be missing a grand by stopping, because he can get a eventual heart pitch and he can rough 2 diamonds. So,
Yeah, I assume Brian here is just gonna bid 4 spades.
well, he's certainly going to bid 4 spades now.
Kevin's gonna bid.
I wonder if he's already done a lot, or maybe since Kevin didn't bid Blackwood yet, maybe they have some understanding about these kind of situations.
I can't imagine Kevin not bidding, but
I mean, if he does, they're definitely on the same page about this. But I confess that I think that North has done an awful lot already. It's interesting that he chose 5 spades. This will keep them out of slam. Because, well, maybe not actually. Maybe with ace, king of spades. I don't know. At some point, North has to say, hey, just kidding.
yeah, I mean, I think North. I
mean,
don't know what 5 spades is exact. What is 5 spades?
well, that's the problem is if 5 spades is, I think he's asking for what, 2nd round control of diamonds, which is not unreasonable by
But
the
that's
way.
what 4 diamonds showed, I assume.
Yeah, probably.
I think a lot of people used to play that 5 spade ask for trump quality, but with Blackwood, you could just, with Roman key card, you just ask for key cards that way and you can find out about the ace, king, and queen. So that's definitely not what it's
Yeah.
meant as here.
I think this has gone
I'm also
a little bit off the
surprised that he hasn't suggested, if he was going to bid, maybe suggesting clubs at some point. I don't know, maybe it's not possible, but I could see the 5-4 club fit, which is maybe possible if North has 5 clubs, playing better than the 4-4 spade fit.
I think the only way that that would happen is if he had bid something like 5-no here over 4 spades. And now partner can choose 6 clubs if he has the hand we were talking about with 4
Maybe
spades.
that's what 5 spades is doing. It's saying if partner wants to play slam, maybe he'll bid 6 clubs along the way. Oh, he alerted it.
Okay, well, that's good. Hopefully
Let's see what
somebody
it means.
asks. I mean, they're not gonna ask, maybe, because they don't
Yeah, they
really.
will. There's no reason not to. Because you can't see what partner's saying anyways. The other table just stopped in 4 and made 4, so. Oh, I don't think we've had specific discussion here. So we don't know what it is.
This has certainly gone off the rails, though, and it's hard for me to criticize Kevin because his hand is so good.
Yeah, I think
So
Billy
good
got it
over
the same way up
6.
until 5 spades. I think instead of 5 spades,
I would have
think
been Blackwood
key card.
probably. Yeah, I
and
would.
then
I would
bid
also have
6.
been key card, and then once I find out 2, I go, well, it might be ace jack 4th of spades and ace queen jack 5th of clubs and the king of hearts or something. I mean, slam is. You're not going to stay out of slam even though you're missing a key card because it could just be a brick.
Yep.
So yeah.
So 6 spades.
Yeah,
So I
they do
think
get too high here, and
North, I think, might have bid too much at some point, but
well, if 3 spades was the second worst bid, I think 4 diamonds was certainly the worst bid.
yeah, I
You
just
had
think
to have
4x1.
Yeah, you had to have some reason to be jumping to 3 spades in the first place. And I confess that this smells like repeating values.
This really isn't the worst slam ever bid. You need West to have ace and 1 club, basically, is what you're probably going to play for.
Yeah, it's
And then-
it's not that terrible.
I think so. I think but even then you need to rough 2
Well,
dimes.
you need spades 3-2 and ace doubleton of clubs, that's a lot.
Yeah, someone mentioned if you switch the 9 of clubs and the 4 spades between the east-west hands, might not be down, but as the cards lie, there's no play.
But to those calling out the little tweaks we could make in order to make the contract good, just calculate how good of a contract it is. You need 3-2 trump, which is 6,
Yeah, well, obviously it's not.
and an ace doubleton holding, which is not a lot.
Yeah.
That's a very small percentage. So, I gave a talk in San Diego during the regional about how do you know if you did a good thing or not. And a lot of what these guys will calculate, especially when they're, not apportioning blame, but talking through hands, is did the contracts we get to, are they percentage contracts? Are they ones we want to be in? And looking back on this hand, and notice Kevin does play for the ace and 1 club.
Yeah. And he knows right away he's down, so he's
He
not.
knows right away he's down, so it gets even worse here because he's got to rough he's probably down too.
Yeah, he's not going to probably think too hard. I don't even think it costs any imps. It's 13 no matter what. Oh, actually, no, it is. It might be
It's 12. It's 12 or 13. So when he cashes the second spade, I guess he can. No, it's not gonna matter. It's not gonna matter. He's never gonna get the long club.
Maybe if he plays a club here, yeah, might give him some chances.
Well, now he got to throw the last diamond, so he
Oh
can.
yeah, now a diamond back in.
Yeah, he can just overruff the dummy and play a spade and. Oh no, that's not good. That's no good.
He can play what? Diamond back, it's down 2, right? Is that what you're?
Oh, they've already got 2 tricks. Yes, Diamondback is certainly down 2. I wonder if a heart back here is. It's not going to matter. I think it's just going to be down 2 no matter what. So this will be 13 more to Rosenthal. So some of the good gains from earlier in the set have kind of gone away. And, it's interesting in these matches, the guessing of queens and kind of the close spots. Sometimes a team will build a lead just, kind of on the randomness of taking a shot that's relatively 50-50 and them all going one way or the other. At this high level, when you really get farther on, there are less and less hands where self-inflicted wounds are an issue. And we can certainly say that this was a self-inflicted wound for Bradley's side, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So they have
Yeah, I
played.
just think the 4x1 hands, they just don't play as well. Like if North had 5 clubs, suddenly 6 spades is actually a reasonable contract. You just need to pick up spades and clubs to be 2-2, which isn't great, but it's much, much better and not a slam to be totally.
Sure. I mean, as I commented at the time,
Healthy.
3 spades I thought was, the porridge was a little bit too hot there. But if over 4 clubs, if he had just bid 4 spades, I think that might have saved the day, because now Kevin can think that he's got kind of a shapely hand that doesn't have forward going interest, and kind of leave it there. So anyway, and as we've discussed, a little tinkering and this might have just been cold. So it's certainly, rarely are these things 0% actions, but the problem here is that this is like a 10% slam, or not even a 10% slam, and that's certainly not something you want to be in. So
It might be around 10%.
I mean, ace and 1 has got to be, how many ace and 1s are there? There are 3 ace and 1s, 4 ace and 1s. There are 4 ace and 1s out of 32, so it's 1/8. So it's an eighth of 68%. So an eighth of 60, so it's like 8%. This is like an 8% slam, if I'm doing my math right. So anyhow,
Yeah, nothing he can do. No way he can.
he knows what's happening. He can play hard. Yeah, club is as good
Yeah,
as
he
it
needs
is,
Finn to not rough this, which would be a mistake. So,
which he did not. He
but it's
roughly,
good to play for that just in case.
just in case.
Sometimes.
Yep, it's always good to play for something. So that was good of him there at the end.
So I think we're on the last
and
board now.
To be fair to these guys, by the way, this is not a super practice partnership. So a lot of these kind of gray area margin hands, it's not totally surprising that some issues arise. Anyhow, so Ish
This
is
is the
gonna,
last hand of the match. So thanks everyone.
yeah, thanks for tuning in. I think here, since you're sharing your screen, I'll give you guys the preview of what's coming after. So at 5 o'clock Eastern, at 5 o'clock Eastern, we have got Steve Garner and maybe Mike Pacell joining, and that'll be at 5 Eastern. And then at 7:15 Eastern, we're going to have Jim Monday and Mitch Dunitz. So some very good guys and some good commentary to follow us.
Mhm.
In fact, if I could take those 4 guys and add them to my team, I would be very happy.
Yeah, Jim Monday, especially, he was my coach and when I played a junior international tournament. So he was a great coach and definitely will be.
Yeah, and he's a
Looking
very
forward to commentary tonight.
I can speak. Everyone watching also probably knows Mitch, but being in LA, I've known Mitch a long time, and he's similarly just a really good guy to talk bridge with. So,
Yeah, he was also a mentor.
yeah, you guys
for
are
my team for a bit.
straight after getting rid of us young folk.
And the double here is mostly just
Usually major suit oriented takeout. In fact,
Yeah,
if we hover over, let's see, I would suspect this is the prototype hand here. Even without an agreement, you're usually 4-4 in the majors, or sometimes 4-3 with 5 diamonds, and
Yeah.
it's basically takeout of clubs.
I think most of the time you have 5 diamonds.
Take
and
out
you're
of the other
5-4-3-1, something like 5-4-3-1, where you have tolerance for the majors, but
yeah, I mean, I would double with Ish's hand in a flash. This looks like
yeah,
definitely.
the only problem now is they might play 2 diamonds instead of 2 spades. And they will. So that's a little
I think Finn thought what you thought, and I thought more what Ish thought. Just
with your hand, with Finn's hand, you would have been 2 spades, you're saying?
I would have, because I think
I would have been 2
the
diamonds.
4-4 majors hands are more like I think this is a 4-4 in the majors kind of takeout. The way it's been
I don't know. Over
emphasizing
when you
majors.
open 1 diamond, you really aren't 4-4 in the majors very much at all. Especially this partnership I know is open to 1 club with 2 clubs when you're 4-4-3-2.
Right. So that does make it 4-4-4-1 or the 5-4-3-1s either way. That's maybe a vote for 2 diamonds.
Well, if you think it's 5-4-3-1, two spades is also reasonable. You're gonna get a 4-4 spade fit half the time or so.
Yeah, and
But-
you get to rough the clubs in the shorthand. So I mean, it's kind of parlaying, and it's a choice.
Yeah, I wonder what he's gonna do.
I would be worried that when it is 4-4-4-1, that I'm tapping my partner out.
Mhm.
With a very likely, I mean, Brian led a club because he had the king, queen of clubs, but in this auction, truth be told, he was going to lead a club most of the time with king, jack, fourth of diamonds.
Mhm.
He was probably doing a club lead regardless, because that's what declare rates to be short in. So
If 5 hearts good here, you know the heart finesse is off, so maybe you can
yeah,
start
and even if the 10 of hearts loses to the jack, you might have a roughing finesse position later. So
I think on the jack of hearts though, Kevin will probably play the 8, which really should, or the 6 maybe. I don't know if it's super preference for spades, but I would think it. I don't know what he played at trick 1. They play standard. He played the 2 of clubs, so I think
I
I
think
might be able to find a spade switch and get a spade rough in.
yeah, I think Kevin should have played the 8 to make this a little easier, but it is the same idea.
Mhm.
Kevin's issue is that he knows that the declare has 4, or he suspects the declare has 4 hearts, so he doesn't necessarily want to throw the 8 away. It might matter.
Yeah,
with
it's
someone
possible.
coming.
I don't think it will matter because even if partner has the king, queen, jack of hearts, declare has ace 9 fourth, and the 9 will always cover the 8. But
No, but if he had like ace jack 9 or
ace
king
jack 9 wouldn't make any sense though, because declare wouldn't have led low.
king jack 9, maybe.
King jack 9. Also, it's possible. It
Maybe
might
it
give
doesn't-
declare, I
maybe
guess.
maybe it doesn't matter, but anyway, Brian's thinking about this, and his problem is that his partner might just have the queen of hearts instead of the ace of spades.
Yeah, that's true too.
And now, but he does find the spade, which is very good defense by Brian.
Mhm.
So this will go spade, 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 rough, and a club back, I'm sure. Or he might play a trump.
I assume he'll play a club back.
It's close here whether you want to play a trump or not, though. I mean, if partner just has ace, queen of diamonds, you might be killing the
Yeah,
rough.
maybe ace queen.
Yeah, I mean, he let's see, how much has Brian showed up with? He showed up with the king, queen of clubs and the ace of spades and the jack of hearts. So he can't really have ace, queen of diamonds and the king of hearts. So a club is a little better, I think. And he
I
does play
think
a club.
here he might end up getting M played with king jack of diamonds, ace of hearts, rough of heart. Oh no, you can't even cash a spade. Never mind. You might.
No, he
North of
can't.
two
He's
trumps.
gonna get M. He's gonna get
He's
M
probably
played.
take two trumps.
He's gonna rough a club and play the queen of hearts, and now he's just gonna be N played.
Well, he'll still get 2 diamond tricks.
Well, no, he has kind of a double.
No, he
Can't-
can win. He can
can't
rough
he
with the
pitch
jack
a-
and play a low one.
Wait, can't he pitch a spade here?
He roughs with the jack of diamonds and plays a low diamond. He still has king third left. He'll still get 2 diamond tricks.
I see. That's true. Yeah.
You need declare to have king jack third. I have some experience with declare having them having king jack third of diamonds.
That was unfortunately we did not write that hand up, but
Yeah.
at some point I will make sure that gets written up for your good play in Providence. Harrison helped us qualify for day 3 of the Swiss by reading his lefty for king jack third behind his ace queen fourth in a 6 diamond contract, and played 11 cards that were winners, and the guy had to rough and lead away from his king jack of diamonds. So that was one of the coolest plays I've seen at the table. So anyway, so Rosenthal is picking up here, or
So
Bramley.
if we go to the scorecard, Bramley picked up.
Bramley
4.
is picking up 4. So
So
after
Bramley
this,
picked up 14 imps. It looks like in the set.
and they were stuck. How much to start? You can go back to the home, and we'll
Well,
glance
but
at all the scores before we sign off.
So they're now tied actually, except for a 0.75 of an imp. Bramley is leading
Yeah,
by.
time penalties have Bramley up just a smidge.
Bramley would be up by a
other-
full imp.
In the other matches, the Leibowitz Simpson match has the potential to have some And Fleischer Levine really is not out of the woods yet either.
One thing about the time penalties is because there's decimals, it probably will limit the amount of overtime decisions or playoffs.
Very
which could be
much
good.
so. You will notice it'll be hard to tie on these things.
Yeah, you need to have the same time penalty as your opponents, and there are a lot of time penalties. There's -1 for 5 teams have a time penalty. One team has a 16 imp, one team has a 12 imp, one is an 8 imp, rounding up.
Yeah,
So that
which is effectively a lot of imps in the
yeah, you
grand.
kind of have to balance out if the time you're taking to make the right decision is worth that many imps in the long run, which it probably is on the big hands if you're taking time on the big slam hands. But if you're thinking about over tricks, might not be so beneficial to take that much time.
Yeah, absolutely. So
But,
anyhow,
all right. So thanks everyone.
yeah, we really appreciate it. As I say, we have good lineups coming after us. The next stream will be at 2 p.m. Pacific and 5 o'clock Eastern. So thanks for tuning in, and hopefully see you all again later in the week.
Yep. Thanks everyone. Bye.
Thanks everybody. Bye-bye.